You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
When it comes to iconic Marvel villains, there are not many as imposing as the Mad Titan, otherwise known as Thanos. Thanos made his debut in the comic book world in the Invincible Iron Man 55, which was released in February 1973. Since that time, he has been one of the most iconic and popular villains in comic book history, and not just in the world of Marvel. However, when Thanos made his brief debut in a post-credit scene of The Avengers in 2012, he became more popular than ever, thanks to his role in the MCU, which had taken us on a wild, emotional ride which lasted until Avengers Endgame in 2019. While many fans would like to have seen the return of Thanos in the next phase of MCU movies, the honor now belongs to Doctor Doom, who has become the next big villain following Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror, being dropped and replaced by the legendary Fantastic Four bad guy, who will be played by Robert Downey Jr. I actually wanted to see Kang's full potential. I hope they give him a chance. It may not be the triumphant return in the MCU that many had hoped, but this variant of Thanos is so badass that Marvel fans have lost their minds. The variant in question is King Thanos, which will be featured at an upcoming attraction at the Avengers campus at Walt Disney Studios Park. Big Daddy Thanos in the house.
What?
That's a little bit weird. Anyway, this was said by Mystic Jin replying to a tweet from the Twitter account, MCU, The Direct, with user OP suggesting that this variant should have been the villain of Eternals 2. Wait, so does that mean Thanos was going to fight his brother?
No. No. No, no, no. No. Hell no!
Whether Eternals 2 actually arrives is a topic for another day. Probably only for the attraction, but maybe there's a way for a live-action appearance. Seems too predictable, though. This guy shows up and tells his story. I am inevitable. The audience claps, and RDJ's doom kills him. Needs to be more than that, or I don't want it. Suggests Mello with a dream scenario. I'm not sure how I'd feel about a returning Thanos, especially after his story in the MCU ended so well. That being said, to see this version of King Thanos, even for a brief cameo, would be epic nonetheless. Think you've seen it all in the MCU? Trust us, there's more to come. Subscribe now to stay ahead of the curve.